Hi, all. Good morning.
Good morning.
Very good morning, sir. Very good morning.
Very good morning. Okay. So last session, we discussed about for each and as well as parallel for each, right? So this is one of the interview question you can expect it. Okay. For each, what is the main difference between for each and parallel for each? For each is nothing but it is a synchronous process. Synchronous means step by step execution will be there. Okay. This for each we are going to use for small kind of data set. Okay. Whereas in case of parallel for each, we can use for a large kind of data sets. Okay. And there is one drawback in the for each. Let's say if we process 10 records, out of 10 records, second record got failed due to some XYZ reason. So that the rest of the records will not be executed. So that is the drawback in the for each. So to overcome these drawbacks of for each, parallel for each came into picture. Okay. So let's say in the same concept of parallel for each, if we process 10 records, out of 10 records, same second record got failed. So that what will happen? Only that failed record will not be executed. Rest of the 9 records will be executed. So this is the advantage with the parallel for each when compared with the for each. Okay, clear? Now
Yeah, clear, sir. Clear.
we will see practical how it is going to work. So yesterday I told you, you have to implement this MySQL workbench. So how many of you did that?
Yeah, I download.
Did you guys install, right? Okay. Uh, if you did not install, try to install today itself. Okay. So usually in the organization, okay, let's say wherever you are working, you cannot see this. I promise you, most of the organizations, you cannot see the source or target systems. Why? Because you do not have any access. Let's say today our requirement is we want to insert some record in the database. So obviously, if you are dealing with the database in our project, 200% database expert will be there. Understood? For every project. Okay. Let's say if we are dealing with the Salesforce guy will be there in our project. Like MuleSoft, how we are working, similar fashion, they will work with us. We will work it as a team. Okay. So that's why, let's say if you need anything which is related to database, that Salesforce guy is going to provide to you. Okay. So I'll show you some. First, we'll talk about for each. Just I'm going to drag and drop this for each. I'll keep this logger here and I'm going to remove this. Okay. So here I want to keep some database. So what I'll do, I'll just, I want to insert some records. So I'll take this database. So for this database, usually what we need to do, we have to do some connection configuration. Okay. So here connection will be there, right? This database name, if you want, you can change this. Let's say if you are connecting with MySQL, so you just write MySQL hyphen database object. So connection, we do have so many connections. Can you see Oracle, MySQL, Microsoft Server, Derby? Not only this, but also we have, different databases like MongoDB, DynamoDB, like this, right? Databricks. We want to connect with Azure. Okay. Like this, so many databases will be there. But we are not able to see all the databases here, right? So whatever the database which we are going to use in our project very frequently, that they provided here. Mostly we will deal with MySQL connection or Oracle. Most of the projects we will use this. Apart from this, if you want to use any other connection. Let's say I want to connect with the Azure Databricks. So here we don't have an option, right? For this, always you can go with the generic connection. Okay. So here URL, driver name, username, and then password. All these things that corresponding database engineer is going to provide. Let's say if you are dealing with Azure Databricks, Azure guy, okay, that database engineer is going to provide all the details. Let's say if I want to connect with the MySQL database, okay. See, for MySQL, these are all different: host port, username, password, and then database name. So if you want to connect with the database, first what we need to do, we have to, take all the things. We need to test this connection. Okay. First thing is, whenever if you are connecting with any database, first directly don't create a flows like this. Okay. First, what you need to do, you will take only that one component or connector in that particular database. Okay. And you can take that, you will get all the, necessary details from their particular team. So let's say now I want to connect with this database. So what I'll do, I'll click on this plus button. I'll go here. I'll click on MySQL. So here we need to provide all these details: host number, port, username, password, database, all the things, and JDBC. Okay, driver also MySQL, JDBC, Java, database, connector. Okay, all these things we need to ask, database engineer. He is going to provide all the things. Let's say you just take a screenshot and you just ask him, hey, I want to connect with the database. Hey, can you please provide these configuration details? Okay. Otherwise, if you are in startup call, what you can do, you can share your screen and you can ask the database page. Hey, I need this kind of details. Can you please provide all the details through mail or whatever it may be, Teams or something. So that guy is going to provide this. But right now, we don't have any database engineer, right? So now what we need to do, we have to create a database of our own. Okay. So in the office, if they'll install a database in their servers, right? So obviously host will be differ. Okay. Here what we are doing, install MySQL server where it will store. Anyone install server MySQL? All are sleeping.
No, sir. Because of I have a lot of work, I did not.
Okay. The moment, if you install
Yeah.
anything that will store in our system itself. Okay.
Okay.
So whenever we install anything that it will store in your local machine. Okay. That is nothing but your laptop. Always, if you install anything, what we will do, we will keep this as a local host. Okay. If you are keeping it somewhere else, okay. So we need to provide that particular IP address.
IP address.
Yeah, that you need to remember. See, in the office, obviously, they won't install in our laptop. Should they'll always install their servers. So they'll provide all the connection configuration details. Okay, now we do not have any database engineer, right? Now what we'll do? We'll try to install it by our own. Okay. So already I install this. First thing, we need to create a database. Okay. So there are two ways to create a database. Click on this database. Connect. Already we connected, right? So I'll tell you simple way. Right click, Very simple. Can you see here? This is one symbol, right? Click on this. This is the easiest way we can create it. It is asking schema name. Okay. So here we'll provide database name as DB. Your batch number is 36, right? So you just write 36. Okay. And then click on apply. Okay. So whatever we did, that is called GUI. GUI is nothing but graphical user interface. Or you can open a command prompt. You can write this query also. Create schema name. Best way is you can create. See, execute SQL statement. You can see there is a green tick mark. That means whatever we did, that is correct. Now can you see DB36 got created. Now we created a table. What is our, we created database. This is our database name, DB36. Now, inside this database, we want to create some tables. So right click on this table, create a table. Okay, table name, you can provide it. EMP or something. Okay. Now, here we need to provide the columns. You have to add some columns to this table. Okay. These columns, you should not write it by your own. Okay. Based on your requirement, what field you are getting from the source, accordingly, you need to write it. Right. So in the source, what we are getting here. Oh my God, this was in Java format. No problem. We'll go here. So what is the input we are getting? ID, name, number, LNAME. Same fields we need to create in the database as well. So what I will do, first I will create ID, next name. See, if you click on, ID or name, automatically it is taking the data type. Okay. What is the other one? Number. Okay. And then LNAME. Right. So we got all these things automatically. Okay. Now you have created a table name called employee. Inside this employee, you have added all the columns like name, number, not name. This is ID, right? Sorry. ID. Okay. Now I'll click on apply. 1 second. We got one extra thing. This we don't require. Apply. What is this?
The number, name.
ID. So after ID name, right? ID name, number, element. ID name, number, element. Okay. Where here? By display.
Two IDs
Oh
came.
my God. Yeah. 1 second. I'll create it again. Right click, create a table. Okay. Table name as EMP. ID, name, number, name. Okay, you just click on apply. Now, 4 got created. ID, name, number, name. Click on apply, finish. So if you open this, if we expand this table, we have EMP. Inside this, we have columns. In the columns, we have ID, name, number, LNAM. So here we need to write some queries. Select a hashtag from, what is our database name? db36.emp. If I execute this query, it will create a table. See, we have ID, name, number, and then LNAM. Okay. So based on the requirement, the database engineer is going to create all the things for us. Okay. Clear? Now, okay, I want to insert, these records into this database. Now I'll go here. I'll do connection configuration. I'll click on plus button. So which server we need to connect? MySQL. So it is expecting some driver, right? Click on this configure, add recommended libraries. Okay. So automatically it will take the job. So you got the tick mark. So host is nothing but local host. Why local host? Because the server is located in my local system. So port number. So if you want to connect with the, MySQL database, the port number is 3306. If you don't know this port number, they will provide. Otherwise, you just, Google it.
While installing itself, it will show, no? MySQL.
But you won't install it right in the office.
Yeah.
So
MySQL.
how you'll remember? So that's why they will provide it. Otherwise, you just Google it. 3306. So this is the default port number for MySQL. So same port number we will use here. What is our username? So while installing this MySQL, so by default username is root, password whatever you set up that. These two you will get it at the time of installation. And the database name is db36. Okay. So once you provide all the details, make sure you need to test this connection. If the test connection is success, then only we need to move further. Otherwise, it will be a problem. See now, can you see? Test connection successful. That means whatever the details which I provided, these are all valid. See, sometimes even though if you provide valid details, can you see here in the corner? Sometimes you may get a red ball. That time what will happen? Your test connection will be failed. Okay. So that time ignore that and don't click on this test connection that time. Directly click on OK. Okay. Now what is our requirement? So we need to insert these records into the database. So for that, what we need to do? We need to write a SQL query. So we are not a SQL developer, right? So we cannot write the queries. So what we need to do? We need to ask, database engineer saying that, hey, I want to insert, some records into this table, so and so table. So can you please make a query and give it to me? You have to ask like this. So what that guy will do, he'll create a query according to the request, and he's going to provide it. That we need to add it over here. So right now we do not have any database engineer. So we need to ask Google. Okay. Insert query in SQL. Now we'll ask this guy Google. So he provided some query. Can you see? Insert into syntax. It is possible to write the insert into statement in two ways. Specify the both column names and the values to be inserted. Okay. So now I'll take this query. So I copied this, Control C. Now I'll go here and I can paste it. Okay. Insert into table name. What is my table name?
EMP,
EMP. What is my column names?
ID,
ID,
name,
name,
number,
number,
name.
L. Okay. So for this, we need to insert some values. Okay, these values will be same, right? Except ID, remaining all will be same, right? So this is the syntax which we need to write it. Okay. So even if you don't know how to make this query, you don't want to bother about this. Okay. If you ask, database engineer, he will provide. Here input parameter I'm giving as payload. Okay. That's it. We don't want to do anything. Simply you just run your project. Okay.
Yeah.
Next. So my application got deployed. Now I'll go here. I'll make a request. So we got the output 200, 201 like this, 299. We got it. Now we need to go to database and you just run this same query. See, all the records got inserted. 200, 201 up to 299. All the records got inserted. Is this clear?
Yeah, it's clear.
So this is how we can insert the records into the table. Now, so this is the success path, success scenario, I can say. So this is the synchronous process. For each is nothing but a synchronous process. So one record will be executed at a time. See 278, 279, 280 like this. Now we'll see some negative scenarios. Okay. So what is the drawback in the for each? Let's say we process 100 records. Out of 100 records, maybe, second record got failed. Okay. If $$ equal to 3 means I want to print me also, else it will print as it is. So what I wrote here, if $$ equal to 3, that means in which scenario it will match, for which record it will match. $$ means what?
Index of
Index equal to 3 means for which position it will match.
0, 1, 2. Index
Hmm?
1, 0, 1, 2, 3.
Equal to 3. 0, 1, 2, 3. Which position it will come? Which record?
4.
Fourth. Very good. So fourth record will be failed. Why it will fail? Fourth record ID, what we mentioned over there, integer. But what I am saying here, if $$ equal to 3 means we need to print the mulesoft. So mulesoft is nothing but this is one of the string, not an ID. So what will happen? It will throw error. Understood?
Yeah.
So this is the simple logic which I wrote it. Now what I'll do before moving this, I need to delete this. Why? Because this we mentioned primary key, right? Again, if you run this, what will happen? You may get error. See, you are getting error. Duplicate entry 200 for the key emp.primary. So always make sure you have to delete this. Control C, Control. Okay. So now what I'll do? I'll click on. So it got deleted. Now, if I write a query again, now nothing will be here. Okay. See, by default, whenever if you install the studio very first time, okay, by default, this delete operation will be there, right? That will be disabled for you. Okay. Why? Because by mistake, if you delete anything, that's why you will not get the delete permission. So if you want to get that delete permission, so you need to go to edit, preferences. After preferences, SQL editor, scroll down. Can you see? Save updates, right? Here you will have one tick mark. Like this tick mark will be there. Uncheck this and click on OK and then restart your server. Then it will work for you. Okay. Make sure whenever you run the query, you have to see down whether if you are getting a green tick mark, so that particular query got executed. If you see like this cross button, that query will not be executed. Understood? So now again I'll go here. So this I change, right? I need to save my application. Let me run this again. So my application got, deployed successfully. Now I'll go here. Again, I'll make a request. See, incorrect integer value. MuleSoft for column ID at row 1. We got 500 error. Okay. Now, if I go to my database, if I execute the same query, can you see 1, 2, 3, fourth record got failed. Why fourth record got failed? Because instead of ID, we are passing some string. So that's why it is giving some kind of error. Here, what we did, we processed almost 100 records. Out of 100 records, fourth record got failed. So what will happen in ForEach? Rest of the records will not be executed in the ForEach. So this is the drawback in the ForEach. Here almost we are going to lose 96 records. Okay. So this is the drawback in the for each. So to overcome this drawbacks of for each, parallel for each came into picture. Okay. So now same scenario will apply and we'll see the parallel for each, how it is going to work. So you just go to mule4, just type parallel for each, drag and drop this. Okay. And whatever will be there, you just switch here from here to here. Okay. Now this is the parallel for each, right? So here, same, I'm not going to change anything. So this code, I'll keep it as it is. This for loop. Same, fourth record will be failed. Now we'll see the difference. So before moving to this, you have to delete all this. Why? Because you will get duplicate. See, query got executed. Now if you make a request, nothing will be there. Again, you just go here and try to redeploy your application because we made some changes, right? So that changes should be deployed. So your application got deployed. Sorry guys, there was some network issue. Are you able to see my screen?
Yes, we are able to
Okay,
see.
fine. So what we did instead of for each, we added parallel for each, right? In for each, if you process 100 records, what happened? Out of 100, third record got failed, fourth record. So almost what happened? We lose 97 records. Now in the parallel for each, so how many records will be processed here? We'll see that. So I'll make a request. See, except that 203, that means fourth record, 1, 2, 3. See, fourth record got failed. It will not execute. Why? Because it is having some error. Can you see? There is no 203 in the table. So out of 100 records, how many records we lose here? Only one, right? So when compare with for each, parallel for each, definitely an advantage, right? So these are the main differences between for each and as well as parallel for each. Is this clear?
Yeah.
So if you have any questions, you can ask me now, one by one.
Hey, can you
Any
run,
questions from anyone?
can you run that M unit once? I'm not able to run it for some reason.
Sorry?
M unit, that M unit on this service. Yesterday
Yeah,
we
if you
discussed
want
that.
to do a minute, you just, can you see there is a blue line, right?
Oh, okay, yeah, yeah.
Here, right click.
Oh, okay,
So you will
down
get
there.
option called a minute.
This is from designer
got it?
only, right?
Sorry?
From designer only, right?
No, you just, the mule palette, this is the flow, right?
Oh, okay,
Here,
okay,
you
got
just
it, got
keep the
it.
cursor and right click. You got it?
Oh, yeah, I got it.
Just right click, click on a minute, and you can run it whatever you want. So any questions here for each and parallel for each? So this is very, very important topic. For sure, we will use this in the real time. Okay. So you guys try to prepare this. So here also one drawback will be there. In the for each, let's say if you process 100 records, third record got failed. So that rest of the records will not be executed. Almost we lose 97 records. Whereas in case of parallel for each, same approach, we lose only one record. But what is the drawback in the parallel for each? Let's say if you process millions of records, millions of threads will be created so that it will impact, you will get some performance issues. Okay. So to overcome these drawbacks of parallel for each, batch processing came into picture. Okay. So in the tomorrow class, what we'll do, we are going to discuss about batch processing. Okay. What is batch processing? How many stages will be there? Okay. How we need to handle the failed records. Okay. When compared with the parallel for each, why it is, advantage. Okay. All the things we'll discuss in the tomorrow session. Okay.
Yeah, thank you. To run a M unit, we have to go that green color line and right click.
Yes.
Then
Already I explained you right yesterday.
yeah.
That means you guys are not, practiced on yesterday's session.
Yes, because we have going to office.
Okay. So anyhow, you will get the recording. So daily, what you can do, whenever you get a time or a chance, try to practice it as soon as possible. Okay.
Yeah. Weekend we will do, sir. Thank you.
Okay, fine. Chala guys, try to practice this.
Thank you, sir. Bye.
If you don't have any questions, I'm gonna wind up this session now. We'll meet tomorrow
Tomorrow is Saturday, na?
or tomorrow Saturday, right? Then we'll catch up on Monday. Okay.
Okay. Thank you.
Thanks
Thank
all.